Democrats are freaking out as they harass federal workers outside of the Department of Education as Elon Musk and the DOGE team has set their sights on it. Maxine Waters went viral for accosting the security guard out front who blocked them from entering the building. Here's that real quick if you haven't seen it.
The door, he says he's a federal employee. He won't tell us who gave him permission to do this. All he knows is he's going to stand here and tell the members of Congress who are elected, who vote for the funding for all of them in this building, and for the student loans, and for the Title I families, he's going to tell us that we can't come in and talk with anybody. Is that right?
Well, the person who gave him permission to do this, Maxine, is the President of the United States, who oversees the executive branch of government and is in charge of federal agencies like the Department of Education. Congress, being the legislative branch of government, is not in charge of the Department of Education. It doesn't surprise me that Maxine has forgotten or maybe never knew what she learned in elementary social studies class. What really has the left triggered, though, is that Elon posted on X that the Department of Education is no longer a federal government agency. MSNBC had one of the Democratic members of Congress who was there along with Maxine, Jahana Hayes, a former public school teacher, and it's what she says here, the quiet part out loud, that reveals to us exactly why the Department of Education needs to be looked at and audited. Check this out.
It appears that Elon Musk, Vice President Elon Musk, I guess, I don't know, he's got some role, some official role, thinks that the Department of Education is already dead. In response to Congressman Maxwell Frost's post about the DOE, he said, quote, "No such department exists in the federal government." You're an educator, a former teacher of the year, someone who knows education better than most. You talked just a moment ago about the programs that are impacted both at the federal and state level. What does this ultimately mean for parents out there?
But one thing I don't think people understand. For me, it was important to go to the department because and request this meeting because I'm open to, if you want to audit the department, if you want to make reforms, let's talk about it. Let's work together and see what we need to do. They don't want to do that. They want to tear everything down, just like they talked about in your last segment. And I hope people understand what that means. A lot of the things that Republicans are complaining about that they don't like about the department with curriculum and things that happen in the school, those are local issues, not decided by the Department of Education. What the department does handle is the $1.6 trillion in student loan funds, special education, making sure that students aren't discriminated against, collecting data and statistics from school, preparing educators to teach our students, running Title I programs for our lowest income communities. All of those things will be affected. And people need to understand if those programs are cut, one of two things are going to happen. If the department is cut, one of two things are going to happen. Either those programs are going to go away or their taxes are going to go up to fund their local school systems. Our children deserve better. 49 million children attend public school in this country. And for Elon Musk to come in with no planning, no forethought, and just plow through these agencies with no plan to rebuild them or what's going to happen to the people that are affected is just completely wrong. And the members of Congress are going to stand up to that.
Okay, so you heard that. If the Department of Education is dismantled, students will lose the federal government's special education, making sure that students aren't discriminated against and preparing educators to teach our students. Be aware of the deceptive language that these people use. The special education isn't what special education used to be. Discrimination doesn't mean what discrimination used to mean. And what is teacher training according to the federal government? The Department of Education is simply a propaganda arm of the federal government reaching into our public schools. What the Trump administration is doing is rooting that out, those tentacles, and giving the responsibility back to the states and individuals through vouchers where it belongs. Get your popcorn out as the news breaks on what's been going on in the Department of Education and how they've been targeting our kids. Last thing, guys, real quick. A ton of you watch my channel consistently and haven't subscribed yet. My promise to you is to get you the top nuggets of the day in 5 to 10 minutes against what all these other commentators take an hour to get you. God first, quick hitting commentary to keep you in truth and on the path toward your potential. If you get value, please subscribe. I appreciate you.